Greetings, Davidson families. This is Mr. Butler, your academic facilitator, here to share with you an update on the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools 2021-2022 grading plan. There's a few big changes this year in our grading practices from previous years, so I want to make sure we all have a clear understanding about what's happening in terms of grades this year. So the district adjusted their grading plan this year, and what we find is important in this is that this highlighted section here of their explanation is that we believe grades should provide students and families with actionable information and really reflect a student's achievement on grade level standards, but also support a student's motivation to learn. And so you're going to see some wrinkles in this grading plan that will support that vision. Another key thing to point out is that we're using our assignments and our grades this year to provide students with opportunities to prepare, rehearse, and then perform, again, in terms of meeting those grade level standards and what that mastery looks like. So when we talk about preparing, rehearsing, performing, we're going to look first at the elementary grading plan. And you can see we have three types of assignments. We have the prepare assignments, the rehearse assignments, and the perform assignments. Those perform assignments are typically our end of unit assessments, and those are our used to be referred to as formal assignments, and they make up 70% of a student's grade each quarter. Our rehearse assignments, these are classwork, things like exit tickets, quizzes, some tasks that happen that students work on independently in the classroom. And these are feedback on a student's progress leading up to that perform assignment. So before there's a perform assignment, we'll have those prepare and rehearse assignments so teachers can see what progress students have made along the way. An important thing to note about the rehearse assignments is we do have a late policy for those. So as a district, we'll have, we give a 3-day grace period on any late work, but then after that, we do have penalties. So every 5 days, we're not taking off anything more than 10 points. And, we mentioned before, we don't want to inhibit a student's motivation to learn. So, our floor when it comes to grades is 50%. We're not entering anything in a grade book lower than 50% on work that has been attempted. So if a student, completes one of these rehearse assignments and gets a 40%, that grade is going to be entered as 50, but teachers will put in the comments the actual score on that. It's just, the idea is we don't want students to experience any sort of demotivation as a result of grades. We want them to have those opportunities to make things up and perform better as they go. The third category we have here is the prepare category. And then in our elementary grades, and this is 3-5, the prepare category isn't being entered in the grade book. And so it's doesn't have any value in terms of our grades at the end of the quarter, but these are assignments where teachers are getting that initial look at whether or not a student has mastered content or what their background knowledge is on content. So, it's a no risk for mistakes. This is really where we look at, okay, how's the student performing either before we've taught something or after we've initially taught it. So before we get to that rehearse assignment, we have an idea of where students are so we can fill some of those gaps if needed. We do have a policy around reassessing, and this falls under only that perform category. So this is only our end of unit assessments, cycle assessments, major projects, things along those lines. And so when a student does not show mastery on one of these assignments, when we look at the mastery of standards, we will provide students with targeted reteaching, and we'll reassess what they did not master on that assessment. So the reassessment may look different depending on what that assignment was. So if it's an essay, that reassessment may be revision. If it was a multiple choice format test, it may be the students only reassessing the standards that they missed. And when we reassess at this point, students can earn up to 100% on the reassessment. And in terms of a performance task, if they retake that, they can earn up to 100% on that as well. So that's the elementary grading plan. And we're going to look at, there's some subtle differences in the middle school grading plan. So this is for our 6-8 students. So you'll notice that if first glance, we have the same assignment categories. However, you'll see that they're worth different percentages. And so in this case, I'm going to start with a prepare here, and they're actually worth 20%. So parents of 6th through 8th graders will see grades under the prepare category in the grade book. And again, these are small assignments that allow us to practice new learning. It may be an exit ticket or a warm-up in class, but it's a small check for understanding after something's been taught. And that same late policy applies. So late assignments will receive no more than 10 points off per week. And again, we're not putting anything below 50. However, there is an expiration date on accepting late assignments. We will not accept late assignments in middle school after 5 days for the perform date that's tied to that prepare assignment. So an example of that would be, we teach students at the beginning of the unit, we take a couple of prepare grades, then we move on to the rehearse assignments, and then to perform the end of unit assessment. Once that end of unit assessment happens, any late work from those prepare or rehearse categories needs to be turned in within 5 days of that assessment, because we won't be accepting them beyond that time. And teachers have been reminding students when those dates are coming. The rehearse, again, same as before. This one's worth 30%. There are quizzes, lab assessments, classwork. Again, same late assignment or late work policy applies. And then our perform assessments, again, we're looking at a few per quarter because these are our mid-unit or end of unit assessments, writing assignments like essays, projects along those lines. And we do have similar guidance here for our guidelines for reassessment. And again, this is the perform. These are our unit assessments only, where students that do not show mastery, they can engage in additional learning opportunities and be reassessed and earn up to 100% on those assignments. One quick thing I do want to point out, any students taking the Math 1 course or Spanish 1 courses, these are high school credit courses, they follow the high school guidance, and the high school guidance is very similar, except one key piece of information. On a reassessment, the maximum a student can earn is 80 points on that retest. So in our 3rd through 8th grade general grade level courses and honors courses, students can earn up to 100% on a reassessment. But any course that we're offering for high school credit, and right now that is Spanish 1, and that is Math 1 at the 7th and 8th grade level, any reassessment, they can only earn up to 80 points on that. So this is the grading policy in a nutshell. We just want to kind of give you a heads up about some of the changes that have happened. When you get a chance to read through this document, if you have any questions, you can reach out to your child's teacher, or you can reach out to me, Mr. Butler, and I will answer anything that comes up with this, because this is a little bit new, but we're excited because it really focuses on what students have mastered and supporting students to reach grade level mastery. Thank you.